Hello, and welcome to your unofficial National Gallery audio tour, Myths of the Masters. You can listen to this tour at home, or bring it along to the National Gallery on your MP3 player. Please consult the gallery map to find the locations of the paintings referenced on this tour, and feel free to pause and start this recording as you go along. But before we begin, I would like to tell you a bit about the tour. This trail will lead you to some of the most admired paintings in the collection, as well as many lesser-known and overlooked masterpieces. But the gallery isn't just a collection of breathtaking paintings from the past. It holds many secrets both within the paintings themselves, and in the seldom-seen subterranean galleries. They hide a terrible history that could change the art world forever. Put simply, we are being lied to. Resist. Now, on with the tour. Once you manage to get past the security measures, well done. It's not easy to get into a gallery these days. Please make your way to room 57, the Raymond and Beverly Sackler galleries on the upper floor. For those of you following from home, please refer to the accompanying PDF. We are looking for Carlo Crivelli's The Annunciation with Saint Emilius. It's on the back wall, second from the left. Please pause your recording here until you reach the painting. This painting is often admired, not least for its fine attention to detail, color and unique use of perspective. However, what I love most about this Crivelli painting is that it is absolutely absurd. Everything about it warrants a second glance. The painting itself depicts a passage from the Gospel of St. Luke, in which Mary is informed by the Archangel Gabriel that she is to be the mother of Christ. We can see Gabriel, on the left here, rushing to make his appointment. Saint Emilius follows beside him, desperately trying to show Gabriel a diorama of the Italian town Ascoli Piceno, supposedly boasting about his exemplary performance as the town's patron saint. While this is going on, the Holy Spirit is seconds away from reaching Mary, thus fulfilling the conception prophecy. The Holy Spirit is visualized here as a dove, followed by a ray of light, descending from heaven. It makes its way through a conveniently placed aperture in the building's architecture, linking to Mary's headpiece. Mary kneels with a book, unaware of the events about to unfold. Some have suggested she was reading the prophecy at the time of its fulfillment. Now we will move on to a few discrepancies. Strangely, the painting appears to be set in a 15th century Renaissance alley. Although it depicts events occurring millennia before, the inclusion of Saint Emilius is also peculiar. He himself could not have been alive at either the Italian Renaissance or during the biblical account of the Annunciation. The dramatic, off-kilter perspective of the street, along with the overcrowded architectural details, make the entire scene resemble a non-Euclidean maze, worthy of an Escher illusion. This is only heightened by the plaque at the bottom of the painting, where we find an apple and a cucumber perched at the edge of the scene, breaking the fourth wall and protruding into our world. The apple represents the biblical forbidden fruit. The intention behind the cucumber is less certain, but some speculate it should be interpreted in the same way as the pomegranate, symbolizing resurrection and redemption. There is a contemporary feast in honor of the Annunciation of Christ that has been observed since as early as the 4th or 5th century AD. Gillian Riley, author of the National Gallery Cookbook, explains that the pigeons we see towards the top left of the canvas were in fact a delicacy of the time. She also notes that the peacock we see perched above the door to Mary's chamber was also for the pot, but this was reserved for special occasions such as royal banquets. The peacock would be skinned rather than plucked, in order for it to be displayed with its tail feathers fanned open, showing off its splendor. Its meat would then be cooked and carefully placed back into its skin for aesthetic purposes. Finally, elaborate mechanisms were added so the peacock would walk up and down the dining table for the guests' amusement. I know, rich people are weird. There are many notable details in this painting that we will not have time to cover. Consider the two figures on the overpass. They are receiving a message via carrier pigeon, effectively echoing the event of the Annunciation. There is also a compelling theory that claims the halo seen in the sky is in actuality a UFO. According to these fringe scholars, it was a tractor beam that brought Jesus onto the world. Those who reject this theory claim that the form in the sky is in fact a ring of angels, as is frequently depicted in the religious paintings of the time. Well, that's all the Carlo Crivelli we have time for. Next up we will be visiting Caravaggio's 1601 Supper at Emmaus, which is completely different apart from the minor detail that it too has fruit teetering on the edge of a precipice. It is one of the most popular paintings here at the gallery. We will be making our way to room 31 on the ground floor. If you head down the main staircase you will pass by the great court where weapons manufacturers and corporate benefactors Finmeccanica would sell their wares to some of the world's most repressive regimes. But that was a few years ago, don't be afraid. If you have enjoyed your sample audio tour, please consider subscribing to the full package, or join me for a walking tour once the galleries reopen. As I always say, these secrets won't secrete themselves. Until then, take care.
This is the ant's language. Art is over. If you want it, art and artist avoided. Non-conceptual art is transparent, the art of the unintended, circumstantial, incidental, and without purpose. Non-conceptual art is the art of non-being, of creative annihilation. Plan, not to plan. Create, not to create. Non-conceptualism asserts that art is not conditional or anything. It is anything and everything, and therefore non-specific. Ultimate deconstruction. It doesn't exist. It never existed. It will never exist. The technique is unconstruction, deconstructing supreme material, nothing. Practice the easiest process. Do nothing. Assert the right of nothing to be. Everybody has the right to be nobody, and everything has the right to be nothing. When everybody and nobody is an artist, there is no art. Art is whoever and whatever is happening. The only valid art is being as installation. Work not done infers work done. Not doing voids the necessity of a doer. Remove all conditions. The only true destiny is to no longer be. Undo what is done. Unbind what is bound. From undoing to unbeing. Non-conceptual art challenges death, culture, worship, our cultural appetite for our own destruction at all levels. The only freedom lies in the ability to not exist. Non-conceptual art is a negation of forms emergent from the chaos of randomized energy interaction, spontaneously organized. The human being is a lazy traveler. The human being is just something happening. Non-conceptual art is just the pulse of the function, the corridor of unarticulated energy flux. The first words, I am, deny the free play and flux of the energy. Dawn ends with the night. Allow art to end. Begin the adventure. Release this reality and ascend to states of null energy flux. Be more than still.